Talk about a big data. A new buzzword that has been capturing the attention of businesses lately is big data. This term refers to such massively large data sets that conventional database tools do not have the processing power to analyze them. Massively large data sets that a conventional database tools do not have the processing power to analyze them. For example, Flipkart must process over millions of customer transactions every hour during the billing day sale. Storing and analyzing so that much data is beyond the power of traditional data management tools. Understanding the best tools and techniques to manage and analyze these large data sets is a problem that government and businesses are trying to solve. This is an interesting space to explore from career perspective, since everything is nothing more than data. In fact, we are nothing more than data points and databases on various companies. Some examples of industries that use big data analytics are hospitality industry, healthcare companies, public service agencies and retail businesses. वो सारे इंडस्ट्रीज बिग डेटा एनालिटिक्स को यूज़ करते हैं. अभी कुछ फ़ायदे क्या है बिग डेटा के. सो व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ बिग डेटा? बिग डेटा मतलब बड़ा बड़ा बेटर इम्प्रूव मल्टीपल यार. So what are the benefits of big data? Big data मतलब बड़ा better improve multiple यार. Better improve multiple. So ability to process big data brings in multiple benefits. What did I just say? Ability to process big data brings in multiple benefits. Improved customer service, better operational efficiency. So what are the benefits? Ability to process big data brings in multiple benefits such as business क्या utilize कर सकता है? Outside intelligence while taking decisions. Yeah? Businesses can utilize outside intelligence while taking decisions. Access to social data from search engines and sites like Facebook, Twitter is enabling organizations to fine-tune their strategies. Early identification of risk to the product or service if any. Risk का पहले ही identify करना to the product or services if any. So these are the benefits, multiple benefits अगर आप big data को use करते हो. Business can utilize outside intelligence while taking decisions. Access to social data from search engines and sites like Facebook, Twitter is enabling organizations to fine-tune their business strategies. Early identification of risk to the product or services if any. Next is improved customer service. Customer ka service. Traditional customer feedback systems are getting replaced by new systems designed with big data technologies. In these new systems, big data and natural language processing technologies are being used to read and evaluate customer responses. तो customer responses को read और evaluate करने के लिए big data and natural language processing technologies are being used. Next is better operational efficiencies. Integration of big data technologies and data warehouse helps an organization to offload infrequently accessed data, this leading to better operational efficiency. तो क्या होता है इधर? बिग डेटा एक साइड पे, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड डेटा वेयरहाउस इंटीग्रेशन करते हैं दोनों, तो हेल्प एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू ऑफलोड infrequently accessed data, this leading to better operational efficiency. So these are the advantages of big data that deals with massively large data sets that unconventional database tools do not have the processing power to analyze. The benefits क्या होंगे? बड़ा big data, बड़ा data, improve better multiple. So improved customer service, better operational efficiency and ability to process big data brings in multiple benefits. Okay, now we will talk about this process called as ETL, that is extraction, transformation and loading. So the process of extracting data from source systems and bringing it into data warehouse is called ETL, which stands for extraction, transformation and loading. क्या बोला मैंने? क्या बोला? The process of extracting data from source systems and bringing it into the data warehouse is called ETL, which stands for extraction, transformation and loading. In the first stage, data is extracted from one or more of the organization's database. तो बहुत सारे organizations होते हैं ना मार्केट में, उन सब से डेटा एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं या दिस स्टेज इन्वॉल्व्स एक्सट्रैक्टिंग द डेटा फ्रॉम वेरियस सोर्सेज सच एज ERP systems used databases, flat files including plain text files, Excel spreadsheet, etc. In the second stage, the data so extracted is placed in a temporary area called as tagging area. तो किस एरिया को टेम्पररी एरिया बोलते हैं, उसको हम टैगिंग एरिया बोलते हैं, राइट. सो इन सेकेंड स्टेज द डेटा सो एक्सट्रैक्टेड इज प्लेस्ड इन अ टेम्पररी एरिया called as tagging area where it is transformed like cleansing, storing, filtering, etc. of the data as per the information requirement. तो जो डेटा एक्सट्रैक्ट किया है वो एक टेम्पररी एरिया में प्लेस करते हैं जिसको हम टैगिंग एरिया बोलते हैं, और उस डेटा को ट्रांसफॉर्म किया जाता है बाय क्लेंसिंग, सॉर्टिंग, फिल्टरिंग ऑफ द डेटा एज पर द इन्फॉर्मेशन रिक्वायरमेंट. फिर फाइनल स्टेज इन्वॉल्व लोडिंग करता है, लोडिंग ऑफ द ट्रांसफॉर्म डेटा इनटू अ डेटा वेयर हाउस विच itself is another database for storage and analysis. The information loaded on the data warehouse could further be used by different data marts. जो ये डेटा वेयर हाउस है और ये डेटा मार्ट्स है. तो द इन्फॉर्मेशन लोडेड इन द डेटा वेयर हाउस कुड फर्दर बी यूज्ड बाय डिफरेंट डेटा मार्ट्स विच आर नथिंग बट डेटा बॉक्सेस पर्टेनिंग टू स्पेसिफिक departmental functions. So data marts are nothing but databases pertaining to specific departmental functions like sales, finance, marketing, etc. From where the information is used for further reporting and analysis to take informed decisions by the management. So I hope the process of ETL is very clear. The process of extracting data from source system and bringing into data warehouse is called ETL, which stands for extraction, transformation and loading. In the first stage, the data is extracted from one or more organization databases. This stage involves extracting the data from various sources such as ERP systems, use database flat files including plain text files, Excel spreadsheet, etc. In second stage, the data so extracted is placed in a temporary area called tagging area where it is transformed like cleansing, sorting, filtering of the data as per the information requirements. The final stage involves the loading of transformed data into a data warehouse, which itself is another database of storage analysis. The information loaded on the data warehouse could further be used by different data marts, which are nothing but databases pertaining to specific departmental functions like sales, finance, marketing, etc. from where the information is used for further reporting and analysis to take informed decision by the management. ठीक है. अब जब भी आप एक डेटा वेयरहाउस को डिज़ाइन करते हो, ऐसे डिज़ाइन करो ताकि ये फॉलोइंग जो 3 क्राइटेरिया है उसको वो मीट कर पाए. तो जब भी आप डेटा वेयरहाउस को डिज़ाइन कर रहे हो, सो दैट इट मीट्स द फॉलोइंग क्राइटेरिया, दैट इट इज़ अ नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा. इट यूजेस नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा. क्या बोला मैंने? जो डेटा ऑपरेटिंग करता है वो नहीं चाहिए बाबा. इट यूजेस नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा. डेटा इज टाइम वेरिएंट. द डेटा इज स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड. नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा, टाइम वेरिएंट डेटा, स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड डेटा. तो तब भी आप डेटा वेयरहाउस शुड बी डिजाइन सो दैट इट मीट्स द फॉलोइंग क्राइटेरिया: नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा, time variant data, standardized data. So it uses non-operational data. This means that data warehouse is using a copy of data from the active databases that the company uses in its day-to-day operations, so that the data warehouse must pull data from the existing databases on regular scheduled basis. Relevance and nature of data in the data warehouse depend on the time the jobs are scheduled to pull data from the active databases. The data is time variant. This means that whenever data is loaded into a data warehouse, it receives a time stamp which follows out for comparison between different time periods. The data is standardized because the data in data warehouse usually comes from several different sources. It is possible that the data does not use the same definitions or units. For example, a student class database lists event date. स्टूडेंट क्लब है ना, वो डेटाबेस के इवेंट मंथ डे ईयर में डालते हैं. और टेबल ऑफ अनदर डेटाबेस माइट यूज ईयर मंथ का डेट. सो फॉर अ डेटा वेयरहाउस टू मैच अप डेट, अ स्टैंडर्ड डेट फॉर्मेट would have to be agreed upon, and all data loaded into the data warehouse would have to be converted to use this standard format. So this is why it is non-operational data, time variant, standardized. It has to be जब भी आप डेटा वेयरहाउस को डिज़ाइन कर रहे हो. तो जब भी आप डिज़ाइन करते हो डेटाबेस को, टू प्राइमरी स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट आता है, एक बॉटम अप अप्रोच, एक टॉप डाउन अप्रोच। बॉटम अप अप्रोच मतलब ऊपर, बॉटम अप अप्रोच पे नीचे से ऊपर जाना। तो बॉटम अप अप्रोच स्टार्ट्स बाय क्रिएटिंग small data warehouses called data marts to solve specific business problems. As these data marts are created, they are combined into a larger data warehouse. टॉप डाउन अप्रोच में क्या होता है, सजेस्ट दैट वी शुड स्टार्ट बाय क्रिएटिंग एन एंटरप्राइज वाइज डेटा वेयरहाउस। क्या बोला मैंने, एंटरप्राइज वाइज डेटा warehouse, and then as specific business needs are identified, create smaller data from the data warehouse. Last topic of data warehouse, that is what are the benefits of data warehouse. Organizations find data warehouse quite beneficial for several reasons. The process of developing a data warehouse forces an organization क्या करता है, better understand करता है the data that is currently collecting, and equally important what data is not being, that it is correctly collecting what data is not being collected. So process of developing a data warehouse forces an organization to better understand the data that it is currently collecting, and what data is not being collected. A data warehouse provides a centralized view, क्या बोला, centralized view of all data being collected across the enterprise, and provides the means for determining data that it's inconsistent. Once the data is identified as consistent, an organization can generate one version of truth. This is important when the company wants to report consistent statistics about itself, such as revenue or number of employees. By having a data warehouse, snapshots of data can be taken over time. This creates a historical record of data which allows for an analysis of trends. A data warehouse provides tools to combine data which can provide new information and analysis. So these are the benefits of data warehouse. पहले तो snapshot. By having a data warehouse, snapshots of data can be taken over time. This creates a historical record of data which allows for an analysis of trends. A data warehouse provides tools provide करता है, snapshot, then tools to combine data which can provide new information. फिर ये एक centralized view of data है being collected across the enterprise and provides the means for determining data that is inconsistent. One that is inconsistent, organization can generate one version of truth. That is important when the country wants to report consistent statistics about itself, such as revenue or number of employees. The process of developing a data warehouse focuses an organization to better understand the data that it is currently collecting, and equally important, what data is not being collected. So these are the benefits of data warehouse, right? So this is all about data warehouse. ETL क्या क्राइटेरिया मीट करना चाहिए जब आप डेटा वेयरहाउस को डिज़ाइन करते हो, अप्रोचेस क्या होंगे जब आप डिज़ाइन करते हो, क्या बेनिफिट्स होंगे डेटा। डिस्कस अबाउट डेटा माइनिंग। डेटा माइनिंग क्या है, द प्रोसेस ऑफ एनालाइजिंग डेटा टू फाइंड previously unknown trends, patterns and associations to make decisions. तो जब आप डेटा को एनालाइज करते हो ये जानने के लिए कि क्या थे पिछले ट्रेंड्स, पैटर्न्स एंड एसोसिएशंस, ताकि आप अब डिसीजंस ले पाओ, उसको हम डेटा माइनिंग बोलते हैं. व्हाट आर द स्टेप्स इन्वॉल्व इन डेटा माइनिंग? पहले तो डेटा इंटीग्रेशन करके आप डेटा को सेलेक्ट करते हो, आप उसको डेटा को सेलेक्ट करते हो, फिर उसको क्लीन करते हो, फिर उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करते हो, माइन करते हो एंड देन इंटरप्रेट और इवैल्यूएट करते हो. क्या बोला मैंने? पैटर्न इवैल्यूएशन एंड नॉलेज प्रेजेंटेशन एंड डिसीजंस और यूज ऑफ डिस्कवर्ड knowledge, right? So what is the process of data mining? Data integration. First, the data are collected and integrated from all different sources, which could be flat files, relational database, data warehouse और web. फिर इंटीग्रेट सब इंफॉर्मेशन ला के हम डेटा को सेलेक्ट करते हैं. इट मे बी पॉसिबल दैट ऑल द डेटा कलेक्टेड मे नॉट बी रिक्वायर्ड इन द फर्स्ट स्टेप, सो इन द स्टेप वी सेलेक्ट ओनली दोज डेटा विच वी थिंक इज यूजफुल फॉर डेटा माइनिंग. तो फिर डेटा को सेलेक्ट करते हैं. डेटा क्लीनिंग. दिस डेटा इज the data that is collected are not clean and may contain errors, missing values, noisy or inconsistent data. Thus we need to apply different techniques to get rid of such anomalies. The data even after cleaning are not ready for mining, as it needs to be transformed into an appropriate form for mining using different techniques like smoothing, aggregation, normalization से आप डेटा को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते हो. Then data mining techniques are applied on the data discovered The interesting part is techniques like clustering, association analysis are among the many different techniques used for data mining. Pattern evaluation and knowledge percentage. This step involves visualization, transformation, removing redundant patterns, etc. from the patterns we generate. Last, made decisions or use of discovered knowledge. This step helps users to make use of knowledge acquired to take better informed decisions. Make use of knowledge acquired to take better informed decisions. So this is the process of data mining: integration, selection, cleaning, transformation, mining, pattern evaluation, and knowledge presentation, decisions or use of discovered knowledge. Now, what is the difference between a database, a data warehouse, and a data mining? डेटा माइनिंग में क्या होता है? दिस एनालिसिस डेटा टू फाइंड प्रीवियसली अननोन ट्रेंड्स. तो वो डेटा को बेसिकली एनालाइज कर रहा है टू फाइंड प्रीवियसली अननोन ट्रेंड्स को. जैसे कि हमारे एग्जाम्पल्स हो सकते हैं आर लैंग्वेज, ऑरेकल डेटा माइनिंग. आर लैंग्वेज, ऑरेकल डेटा माइनिंग. डेटा वेयरहाउस क्या करता है? स्टोर करता है बोथ हिस्टोरिक एंड ट्रांजैक्शनल डेटा. एग्जाम्पल क्या हो सकते हैं? टेरा डेटा इन्फॉर्मेटिका. डेटाबेस क्या आता है? ये स्टोर करता है रियल टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन. या दीज आर द डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन डेटा. और एग्जाम्पल्स क्या होंगी? MySQL, MS Access. So this is the difference between a database, data warehouse and data mining. Database store करता है information on a real time basis. Data warehouse stores both historical and transactional data. Data mining analyzes data to find previously known unknown threats. इधर एग्जाम्पल क्या होगा? जैसे कि टेलीकम्युनिकेशन सेक्टर में डेटाबेस स्टोर्स इन्फॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू अ मंथली बिलिंग डिटेल्स, कॉल रिकॉर्ड्स, मिनिमम बैलेंस एक्सेट्रा. इट इज़ अ फंक्शन. इसका फंक्शन क्या है? रिकॉर्ड करना. डेटा वेयरहाउस का फंक्शन क्या है? टू रिपोर्ट एंड टू एनालाइज. और डेटा माइनिंग का फंक्शन क्या है? टू एक्सट्रैक्ट यूजफुल डेटा. So first one is to record, then it is to report and analyze, and then is to extract useful data. So this is the function. इधर example क्या देखोगे? In the same telecommunication sector, information in a data warehouse will be used for product promotion, decision relating to sales, cashback offers, etc. Iधर in the telecommunication sector, information will be analyzed by data mining techniques to find out call duration with respect to a particular age group from the entire data available. So very important the difference between database, data warehouse, data mining. पहला point, एग्जाम्पल्स क्या है डेटा माइनिंग के? आर लैंग्वेज एंड ऑरेकल डेटा माइनिंग. डेटा वेयरहाउस के लिए टेरा डेटा इन्फॉर्मेटिका, और डेटा बेस के लिए MySQL एंड MS Access. फंक्शंस, डेटाबेस का एक फंक्शन इज टू रिकॉर्ड, डेटा वेयरहाउस का इज टू रिपोर्ट एंड एनालाइज, एंड डेटा माइनिंग का टू एक्सट्रैक्ट यूजफुल डेटा. एंड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग? This stores real-time information. This stores both historic and transactional data. This analyzes data to find previously unknown trends. So this is the difference between a database, data warehouse, and a data mining as well. Related concepts. Yeah, database model can be organized in many ways and thus make many forms. Database model is a type of a data model that determines the logical structure of database and fundamentally determines in which manner, क्या बोला मैंने? In which manner data can be stored, organized and manipulated. तो database model का हायरार्की क्या होता है? पहले तो एक database होता है जिसके अंदर फाइल्स एंड टेबल्स होते हैं, जिसके अंदर रिकॉर्ड्स होते हैं, फील्ड होते हैं और कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, राइट. सो डेटाबेस आता है. दिस इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ फाइल्स और टेबल्स. फाइल्स और टेबल्स क्या होते हैं? दिस इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स, ऑल्सो रेफर्ड एज एंटिटी. रिकॉर्ड में क्या होता है? दिस इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ फील्ड्स. Fields is a collection of characters defining a relevant attribute of table instance, and characters are a collection of bits. So I hope it is clear. It is from database, file or table, record, field and characters. Now there are some prominent database models जो discuss किए गए हैं. That is your hierarchical database model, network database model, relational database model and ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डेटाबेस मॉडल. पहले तो फर्स्ट थिंग वी विल लर्न कि ये उन चारों का स्ट्रक्चर क्या है. बेसिकली जो हायरार्किकल डेटाबेस मॉडल है वो लॉजिकली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है इन अ हायरार्की ऑफ रिलेशनशिप. इट इज़ व्हाट? It is logically organized in a hierarchy of relationships in an inverted tree pattern. Network database model कैसे है? This structure views all records in sets. सारे records को in sets में, जैसे कि ये एक set, ये एक set, ये एक set. So this structure views all records in sets where each set is composed of an owner record and one or more member record, right? So network database model का structure views all records in sets, wherein each set is composed of an owner record and one or more member record. Relational database model में क्या होता है, एक्सेल का टैबलो कॉलम आप समझ लो, जहाँ पे ये सारे सब रिलेशंस होते हैं, जो हेडिंग होता है ना वो एट्रीब्यूट्स बोलते हैं. सो रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडल दिस अलाउज कलेक्शन ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स इन अ टैबुलर स्ट्रक्चर. क्या बोला मैंने, नेटवर्क डेटाबेस में रिकॉर्ड्स को हम सेट्स में व्यू करते हैं. रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मॉडल में हम रिकॉर्ड्स को टैबुलर स्ट्रक्चर में देखते हैं, वेयर ईच रिकॉर्ड कंटेन्स सम फील्ड्स डिफाइनिंग द नेचर ऑफ डेटा स्टोर्ड इन द टेबल. वेयर ईच रिकॉर्ड कंटेन्स सम फील्ड्स defining the nature of data stored in that table. A record is one instance of set of fields in a table. So एक record क्या है, एक instance of set of fields in a table. Main terms used in this model are relation, defined as tables with columns and rows, and named column of tables as attributes, and domains as a set of values that attributes can take. So I hope it is clear regarding relational database model. This allows collection of records in a tabular structure where each record contains some fields defining the nature of data stored in that table. A record is one instance of set of fields in a table. Main terms used in this model are relation, defined as tables with columns and the rows, named columns of the table as attributes, and domains as a set of values that the attributes can take. Object-oriented database model में it is based on the concept that the world can be modeled in terms of the objects and their interactions. This provides a mechanism to store complex data such as images, audio, video, etc. अब ये जो डेटाबेस मॉडल है कितने रिलेशनशिप बनाते हैं यहाँ पे. इन द hierarchy database model, the top parent record that owns other records is called as the parent record or root record, which have many one or more child records, but no child record may have more than one parent record. Each node is related to the others in the parent-child relationship. Thus, hierarchical data implements one-to-one and one-to-many relationship. In network model, implement one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many relationship types. The network model can represent redundancy in data more efficiently than in hierarchical model. The redundancy होता है. In a relational database model, all relations adhere to some basic rules. First, the ordering of columns is immaterial in a table. Second, there cannot be identical record in a table. There cannot be an identical record in a table. And third, each record will contain a single value for each of its attributes. A relational database contains multiple tables with all the tables connected by one or more common fields. For each table, one of the fields is identified as primary key, which is unique identifier for each record in the table. If the primary key of one table is used in another table to access the former, it is called as former key. Popular examples of relational databases are MySQL and Oracle. Next is object-oriented database. In this, data is modeled and created as object. It combines different aspects of object-oriented programming language into DBMS like complex data types, multi-valued attributes, that is address field can have many values like house, number, location, zip codes, etc. OODBMS helps programmers make objects which are in independently functioning application program are assigned with a specific task or a role to program. So this is all about your hierarchical, your network database model, relational database model, and object-oriented database model. Last topic that we will discuss here now is regarding the segregation of duties. Yeah. Give some examples of segregation of duties जैसे कि transaction authorization, split custody of high value of assets, workflow and periodic review. क्या बोला मैंने? Transaction authorization, split custody of value of assets, workflow and periodic reviews. Transaction authorization में क्या होता है? Information system can be programmed or configured to require two persons to approve certain transactions. Many of us see that in retail establishments where a manager is required to approve a large transaction or a fund. In IT applications, transactions meeting certain criteria may require a manager's approval to be able to proceed. Then split custody of high value assets. Assets of high importance or value can be protected by using various means of split custody. For example, a Password to an encryption key that protects a high valued asset or sensitive data can be split into two halves, one half assigned to two persons and the other half assigned to two persons, so that no single individual knows the entire password. Banks do this for central vaults, where a vault combination is split into two or more pieces so that two or more are required to open it. Workflow. Applications that are workflow enabled can use a second level of approval before certain high value or high sensitive activities can take place. For example, a workflow application that is used to provision user accounts can include extra management approval steps and request for administrative privileges. Next is periodic reviews. IT or internal audit personnel can periodically review user access rights to identify whether any segregation of duties issues exist. Care should also be taken to ensure that the access privileges are reviewed and updated with the changing job roles. The access privileges for each worker can be compared against segregation of duties control matrix. So these are the examples of segregation of duties controls: transaction authorization, split custody of asset, high value asset, workflow, and then periodic review. When segregation of duties issues are encountered during a segregation of duties review, management will need to decide how to mitigate the matter. The choices for mitigation on a segregation of duty issue include: reduce करो access privileges का, introduce करो एक नया mitigating control, reduce करो access privileges, reduce access privileges and introduce a new mitigating control. Reduce access privileges में management can reduce individual user privileges so that the conflict no longer exists. Introduce a new mitigating control में if a management has determined that the person need to retain privileges that are viewed as a conflict, then new preventive or detective controls need to be introduced that will prevent or detect unwanted activities. Example: mitigating controls include increased logging to record the actions of personnel, improved exception reporting to identify possible issues, reconciliation of data sets and external reviews of high control risk. तो SOD इशू होता है तो आप क्या कर सकते हो? reduce access privileges, introduce a new mitigating control. And what is segregation of duties, also known as separation of duties, ensures that single individual do not possess excess privileges that could result in unauthorized activities such as fraud or the manipulation or exposure of certain data. So this is all about segregation of duties.